Hello, strangers on YouTube. Fred Strange, Strange Worlds Unlimited, and we're back to finally back into Love Hina again. Um, we've had about a 20-minute adventure trying to deal with a monitor that wouldn't show up, and then shutting down the game, and then restarting the game, and yeah. So, and hello, Hunden 1381. Well, there you are. Hello. And how are things? How are things? How are things? Um, so we are doing the Love Hina house, and we're trying to make it as accurate to the books as possible, and substituting some things here and there. So that's where normally you go, as I discussed in the last episode. Which, if you missed that, go back to my well, okay, that's the wrong book. Um, Go back into my um, there we go. That's the right book. Go into my article about or my last episode, which would have been probably yesterday. Um, for those of you watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, this is the thing. You can just watch it after the stream is done, and you can watch it all over again and see all the stuff that you missed. But we're putting the Murphy beds in there because, well, we don't have futons. We don't have the futons that they normally carry in a more traditional Japanese. Last episode, last hour, I said, I may mention that they don't normally carry beds in a traditional Japanese thing. Beds as we know them in America and other parts of Western Europe, Europe and stuff like that. Are kind of a new thing to Japan. So it's not like they don't. More and more, more modern homes and things like that um, tend to do have. It's very Western. It's a combination. It's an eclectic mix in some of the more modern homes in Japan of Western, you know European American styled, beds and everything, clothing, you name it, mixed with traditional Eastern Asian, Japanese stuff. But in this particular house, this is the Hinata house, and it's a very traditional inn, and they don't have beds here. Very few, I think. In this storyline, almost none of the characters actually have beds as we know them in the United States and Europe. They all use futons, which is basically it's basically a thin-ish mattress that you kind of you roll out to sleep on, and then you roll back up and throw in a closet or something like that. So the closest thing that this game has to anything like that is, of course, these Murphy beds. So that will be our futon substitutes. You fold them out and you sleep in them. When you're done, you fold them back up, and you free up the space. Which, again, space is important. So let's see. Whose room are we looking at here? We're looking at Kitaro's room here. So let's see if we can figure out. We got to put a shelf over here. And so I got to go into. If this thing would stop freezing up on me, it'd be really wonderful. Okay, so. Ouch. Cat? I got a cat in my lap. Alright, so I need storage-ish things, but that'll hold a TV. This thing's just constantly freezing up on me. There we go. Dressers, miscellaneous. Yeah. Do. Lockers. Onsen lockers. I don't necessarily want that. We should have some sort of a dresser or something like that here, right? Yeah. What kind of a dresser can we do? Ooh. Now, yeah, see, closet, but that, that takes up a lot of space there, right? This thing isn't that big. Now, for those of you who have the, I guess the Get Famous, but boy, that's a really weird. Wardrobe rack, but that's not exactly that's great for a hotel, right? So we don't want that. I mean, that's more traditional. Not quite what I want. Bookshelves, surfaces. Let's see. Cabinets, counters. What's in here? Display case. Vanity. Retail counters. I don't need any of those things. Alright. Desks. And I've got a desk. Okay, well, I guess we go this way. And it looks like we may end up just having to put the TV right on the floor here. I'm really not seeing any good. Okay. Guess we'll do that. Let's see, what is... Like I said, I think we got... There's room. Bookcase. Well, there's a TV, but I don't think... Let's see, yeah, there's these and there's this. I mean, Kaitaro's TV is kind of more, kind of like that. But there's a bit of a platform to it. Huh. And again, it's built into the wall. See, the wall I want up is this wall. The wall I want closed is this one, so you can see in here better. Okay. wall coverings and things like that. Let's see. TV stand. I don't think any of this stuff would be okay. Yeah, that computer's not exactly accurate to her room either, but I think I might just leave it. Let's move this over. Although I don't think she has a TV in her room. It's a little hard to say. Katara obviously does. There's a clothes rack against that one door, but you know, again, the rooms are partitioned in such a way that I can't do. Yeah, that's just not going to work. Okay. We'll do that. And the problem is don't have much in terms of, I mean, okay, and here's a good example of what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find. Okay. So, Keitaro's room in the book. I hope I can hold this up so everybody can see this. Keitaro's room in the book looks like this. Okay? Now, I saw another scene. So this is basically looking from the doorway in. Okay, so you got the TV there. You see the TV, you see the tables and chairs and things, all those shelves and stuff. Okay, so keep that picture in mind, and then look at this one. Okay, and same TV and everything. Okay, notice where the bed is. There's the kotatsu, or where I have where the there's the not the kotatsu, but the futon, right? Probably about what would be considered a full size mattress. I suppose you could fit 2 people in there, so I think it's smaller than a queen. Might be full size mattress. But you know, the table and chairs from the first picture are gone and in its place. So that's why that's why I'm doing the Murphy bed here, because you put that away. You put that away. You can put your tables out, right? So basically, where this is, you'd be the Murphy bed would go right here. Technically the Murphy bed would go right here, right? But so we're rolling up the Murphy bed. We'll just keep this right here, so when they bring the Murphy bed out, they can sleep in it, and then they can put it up, and then they have space for who knows what. But that's how these things work. You get you get you know, you get the futon mattress out and sleep on it during the night. In the morning, roll it up, throw it in a closet or something, throw it, you know, in a corner, and then get out your tables and chairs or kotatsus or whatever you have, or you know, you use that space. You know, that's open. That's now open space for you to use something else. And then you know, at night you put this stuff away, roll out the mattress, and go back to bed. You know, very good use of space. So there you go. And now let's see if we can figure out how we are going to do this, because these are not, and we can suppose we can keep that there, but these are different. So what we're actually dealing with, you know, it's an open air. And I don't know if these are. I don't know if these are sliding walls that. I mean, so there you go. I mean, there's, you know, the whoops, the passageway there. You got the inner walls and then the outer walls, but the outer walls are more, you know, fence like. So, you know, they're not. They're not windows so much as they're. I mean, boy, that. How do you stay warm in a place like this? But yeah, I mean, there we go. So these are gonna have to go. What am I replacing them with? Now that I put that away, let's open it back up and take a look at, you know, see if I can figure out what these. Things most resemble. I mean, they're almost like that. But they're off of the. Oop. This thing would stop. It won't let me put that there. It won't let me put a fence there. So I can put a fence there. But it won't let me put that fence here. Okay. So now what? close that off, and there goes the roof line. But I get rid of that to put a fence in, which it won't do, and that won't cut off. So now what? The limitations imposed on this by this game sometimes. So that's supposed to be more fence-like. So, how do I make these more realistic? Can I do half walls? Would a half wall work? Half wall will work. Alright. Now, comes the problem, though. See, technically, that's just an opening in the walls. How are we doing on time? Damn. I'm gonna have to revisit this. That's all the way up, isn't it? It's not even a half wall at all. Yeah. I suppose I can fit a fence on that. Can I? No. Or any kind of a window. It just goes to the inside where I can't put one. Yeah, I mean, it should be. Oh boy, I tell you. Once again, something that you find in The Sims 2, they don't have here. In The Sims 2, they have half walls, but some of them have, you know, like in a restaurant where you have like a half wall and then a glass partition on top of it, resting on top. So it's a solid wall here, but on top of it is either a fence or a window or something, you know, that gets you up to, you know, it'll be like a 3-foot tall wall, right? And then I'll have another 2 to 3 feet worth of fence, glass, something, you know, there, you know, and then of course you've got the rest of the way up to, you know, 8-10 feet ceiling, that's still open. So it's still a half wall, but you know what this calls for, what this is really needing is that, you know, about that height of a half wall, and then fencing up to about to that line right there, or in more window like, you know, kind of like this but open, or reverse of this. It's like put this part here, and then this part is actually, instead of glass, it's open, and that's up there, but it's still framed. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Looks like we're just not going to have that. So, I guess we're just going to have the enclosed windows that are just going to have to kind of look like they're the open air, because this is supposed to be this is totally open air stuff. Okay, so I mean, how drafty is this house? You know, and I almost get the impression though that these would be like doors. You know, so I mean, in a sense, this would be wider. But these would be like open doors, and you can wall them off. And I mean, completely shut and wall them off. During the summer, you can open these things up and air the house out, let air through. Like, you know, during rainstorms, during the winter, you know, you can close these things off. You can just kind of shutter the doors shut and close these things off. That's almost the impression I get. I can't really tell. And maybe somebody who lives in, you know, Japan and knows more about some of these, you know, how these kind of open air buildings would work. I mean, that's just my guess. So if anybody knows, anybody in Japan knows how this system, you know, like I said, these would be open to the air. You have an inner and outer. You have a set of inner walls and outer walls. You know, inner walls where the rooms are, and outer walls, and these would be the hallways, right? But a lot of this is open. You know, especially this side. You know, at least 2 of those 4 windows are actually open. They're not windows at all, if not all 4 of them. They're not windows at all. They're open. You know, there's fencing, but it's open to it's open to the elements. So you can, you know, whatever the weather is outside, you're getting in here. Yeah, in terms of temperatures and things like that. So it's but by looking at some of the pictures that are in the book, it almost looks like they're doors here or something that you can slide into place and wall that off. But I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part. I can't do anything more about that. So that's the way that's going to be. That's going to be the look. I can't improve. I can't make. I don't have. Now, maybe. I mean, kind of like this, right? This is what I'm talking about. How this is set up. Okay. Now imagine putting a fence right there. You know, something like this, or more so like that. Put that fence between these 2 doors right there, right? And that's what this should look like. But then, you know, you just get the impression that that and that can slide closed and close this entire thing off. It's like a double layer. You know, that's a wall. That's a wall. There's actually a door right here that you can just slide into place, slide into place and wall that off and close that off. There might actually be a door that does that. Yeah, there we go, right there. These doors, right like that, right? Okay. You get the impression, I mean, there's a wall there, the red parts are doors, you know, so that they should, you know, they would fit right where these windows are. And you can, they'll open up to let you through, you know, just like this. You know, you can put them right there. So that's open, that's closed, right? Now, where those walls are, put a fence there behind the doors, right? Put one of those fences there at, you know, at the level of, you know, behind the doors, and then close the doors off in front of the fence, right? That is kind of what I'm getting the impression these should be. Wall, right? Or window, right? Window, and then fence. But this is a double window, so it's a window in front of a window. You know, they're paned like that, right? And one of them moves, so you can close that. You know, so you can close this fence part off. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I would do. You know, I mean, I'm an engineer. My dad was. That's what he would do. I'm pretty sure that's what he would do. If he were to say, you know, we want something of, you know, that type, you know, you make sliding doors. You know, you double pane the wall, the glass here. You know, with the sliding, you know, you have the glass inbuilt into the wall, and then you have another that will slide into place. You know, weather stripping and everything like that, so you can just close that off and seal the room in. And, you know, and keep, like when it snows and stuff, you can keep, you know, you can shut that off and keep the warm air in. That's what I would do. And I'm guessing that's probably what is actually done. You know, and then during the summer you open these things up and you get all the, you know, you can let the breezes through, you know, because that's what you want. Especially, you know, you get, you know, like I said, Japan is on the east coast of Asia, and it'd be the same as the east coast of the United States. So, you know, in the summer it gets hot and it gets humid. I live on the west coast. It gets hot, but it's dry, you know. So it's very different from Japan in that sense. You know, a lot of people compare, you know, Japan to the United States, you know, Japan to the West, you know, like California. I live in California, but this, I mean, you know, again, if you were to put Japan on the West Coast of the United States, you know, the Northern Island would be, you know, all the way up, probably almost British Columbia. You know, definitely Washington State, if not part of British Columbia. The lower half of British Columbia, I think, is the Northern Island, and then it'd stretch all the way down to Baja California and then some. It would stretch that entire length of the west coast of the United States, part of Canada, and including Baja California, which is part of Mexico. It's that long, and so that's how long Japan is. But I mean, but the weather is, and it's more comparable to the East Coast, so it stretched from Nova Scotia, and oh boy, guys, I can't go over there to kill you, so biscuit whatever the heck, you know, go away. So okay, well, I can't do that then. So yeah, I don't know how much more I can do in here. I saw that I got a few things done. I think what we'll do is the next time I got a few things in here. I should make these rooms. Okay, there we go. And what we'll do is let's shift that around and do it that way. Now in the books, this is a very traditional Western style table that they do sit and eat around. The kitchen is very Western modern. So parts of this are very Western, and then other parts are very Japanese, traditional. So, that's the thing about this country, is just how often let me see. What you'd often get is you get those, and then you get like this. Right? Whoops, that's too far. They place the mats, crisscross from each other, right? So you get this kind of a thing. Almost a checker pattern. Because these are supposed to be, they put them in the floor things, but these are actually supposed to be, more like rugs. You place them on top of the hardwood floors. They're in a sense, they're meant to protect the hardwood floors. So, and what you typically see, at least in the mangas, is you'll see them lay in there, and there'll be these, 2 meter, if even that much, 6 foot long mats, and dozens of them, right? This would be 1 mat, 2 mat, 3 mat, 4 mat, 5, 6 mats, right? There's 6 mats right there, right? And so how many? 24. 24 mats. And this is how they judge rooms by. They would say, how big is this room? Oh, it'll hold X number of these mats, and they're all the uniform size. So, and I'm not too sure if they're actually 6 feet in length. They may be shorter than that, like 4 feet or something like that. But however long they are, however long these mats actually are, they roll them out, right? And you roll them up, and so and you go to any store, you get like Pier, the old Pier 1 stores and things like that. You see, you'd be able to see these. Like I said, they're rugs. They're kind of like rugs. And you just lay them out on top of the floors. And then they do this kind of, 2 this way, 2 that way, 2 this way, 2 that way. And so you get this kind of pattern. And so, 2 this way, 2 this way, 2 that way, 2 this way, 2 that way. See, oops, no, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I want this. So, you know, you get these. Okay, am I going up or down? Up. So here's more better. And you know, and they would, you know, when you go to find a house or an apartment, and more often an apartment, you know, how big is the bedroom? It's this number of tatami mats big. And so, ooh. And see, there you go. This is short. So, yeah. So, and you know, this number of tatami mats big, you know, would be how they measure it. So there you go. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. Should I bother doing that here? No, because that's an odd number, isn't it? Yeah, we're not going to bother with that. Okay. Yep, there you go. Okay, so anyway, that will, I guess, do it for now. I can't think of anything else to put in here. I mean, I found the books, so we can maybe, you know, oh, let's do it this way. You know, I found the books so I can decorate a little bit better, and maybe I can add some more, you know, floor covering or wall coverings, you know, more posters and things like that. But really, that's probably about as good as we're gonna get. You know, these rooms. Yep. So anyway, if you like this, thank you, Hunden 1381 for the follow. Hope it was interesting to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please check out the description box below. Follow the links so you can find my Patreon to help support the channel. Find my the link to where my website, where my books are, so you can go and read one of my books and check those out. And of course, links to YouTube, links back to Twitch are down below, you know, in my about page and everything like that. So there they all are. And yeah, you know, like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Follow along. And London just made it. Let's see, how far are we? We've only got, well, I think, did I lose some followers? I don't know. But yeah, we were kind of on the road to 10 followers here. Haven't quite. Of course, that was a goal for November. We're in January now, and so still haven't hit that. But there we are. We'll get there. We'll get there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay strange.